Hello, today we are going to discuss about corporate social reporting. What is CSR? Basically, CSR is a concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concern in their business operation and in their interaction with their stakeholders on a voluntary basis. Moving on, CSR reporting is a process whereby an organization publicly discloses information about its interaction with and impact upon the various societies and environments in which it operates. Moving on, there are theories that derive from the political economy perspective, which give an explanation about the motivation for voluntary disclosure, which are legitimacy theory, stakeholder theory, and institutional theory. Now, moving on, let's talk about legitimacy theory. It is generalized as perception or assumption that the action or entity are desirable, proper, or appropriate within some socially constructed system of norms, values, belief, and definition. So basically, this theory explains the behavior of organization in implementing and developing voluntary social and environmental disclosure of information in order to fulfill their social contract that enable the recognition of their objective and the survival in jumpy and turbulent environment. Moving on, stakeholder theory. There are two broad branches of stakeholder theory. There are being the ethical, moral, normative branch and positive managerial branch. Under the ethical normative branch of stakeholder theory, all stakeholders have the right to be treated fairly by an organization, and the firm is a vehicle for coordinating the stakeholder interests, and the management should manage the organization for the benefit of stakeholders. Meanwhile, for managerial branch, it attempts to explain when corporate management will be likely to attend to the expectation of particular powerful stakeholder. It is more on the organization centered and the expectation of stakeholder considered to impact on the operating and disclosure policies. Now, let's talk about the last theory, which is the institutional theory. It examines the structure of organization through the lens of rationalized myth accepted in order for the organization to maintain the legitimacy in the institutional environment. There are two dimensions of institutional theory, but firstly let's talk about the isomerism. It is a constraining process that forces one unit in a population to resemble other units that face the same set of environmental conditions. Institutional isomerism is divided into three categories. The first one is coercive isomerism. The second one is mimetic processes, and the third one is the normative pressures. Now let's talk about the coercive isomerism. It is a formal or informal pressure exerted by the outside organization, for example, the regulation imposed by government and the larger organization. The second one is mimetic processes. It is when there is a high uncertainty and an organization does not know what to do, it will look to the other organization. You can see the example on the slide given. The last one is the normative pressure. It is a professionalization, example, the licensing bodies, professionals organization, which encourage filtering of the personnel. You can see the example on the picture given. Second institutional theory is the decoupling. Although manager might see a need to be seen to be adopting particular structure and practices, actual organizational practices can be different from the formally sanctioned and publicly pronounced process and practices. Lastly, GRI. It is among the most popular CSR instruments. You can refer to the picture given. That's all. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.